Here we have the weekly price chart for Intel Corporation, stock ticker INTC. So here we can see that the share price did manage to recover, some ground during last week's trading sessions. I am going to drill in a bit further into this price chart. Currently, what we're looking at here is the weekly price chart. I just wanted to start here because I think it's important at this point for people to understand where we are within the history of this stock, because I do think that we're at a major inflection point here. The stock really did have potential for recovery, and then I just think the last earnings report really took a lot of legs out from under investors. A lot of the support that justified holding the stock, has been removed. Mostly given the fact that they are suspending the dividend. I think that that's a huge development, and for me personally, I will be looking for reasons to exit this trade here. So we will be drilling down here and looking at some specific price levels to see if people are interested in doing that. I understand that a lot of people want to buy in at the lows, and I do actually agree with that type of outlook. If you are a newer investor into the stock, I actually do think this has been a good entry point. But for people that were looking for a reversal at these higher levels, a lot of that position is now underwater. And I know that personally, this is one of the worst performers. This is the largest downside move that I've seen in my stock portfolio this year, by far. If you look at the members only channel portion of the channel, you'll see a large variety of smaller cap stocks that have just completely outperformed, the trajectory and the performance of this stock trade. So this at the moment is currently one of my worst performers, and I would personally rather move my money into other stocks that are performing much better at the moment. The trade that we took 2 weeks ago in the trading room is already up 46%. So, we're not seeing the same type of developments here in Intel. So, I will be looking more in depth into this chart. We can move down on the time frames a bit, but I do think that it's just important to kind of understand where we are here. We did post lower highs here right around the beginning of 2024, the end of 2023. So these are major trend developments here from a longer term perspective. This is the weekly chart. So the recent breaks below this roughly 2480 level, very significant in nature, because we did ultimately see price lows coming in at 1884, and now currently where we're trading is roughly at 2080. So there has been a bounce here. I do think that the market reaction overall to the earnings report was overblown. So this is why I have not yet exited the position. I will be sort of looking for an opportunity to do that, because I'm simply just not going to wait around for this stock if there is no dividend. This was a completely unexpected move. There was no suggestion anywhere that Intel was even considering removing the dividend. And that was a major reason to be holding on to the stock for a long period of time. That, there was limited downside in the stock. And even with these price moves lower, there is still, limited potential for downside. I still believe that all of that is basically true. But if I'm not being rewarded for holding on to the position and waiting for the reversal, I'm just not going to get involved. So, there are better stocks in the market. I have much better outperformers here in the members only trading section. So I would rather focus on those names instead. So, as we can see here, if we move into the price chart a bit, we can move down to let's move down to the daily time frame. So here we can start to see that there is some green on this chart finally after this major price gap lower. The developments here have been limited. I do think some sort of bounce here is to be expected. It was a major shock to the market. These were not developments that the market was expecting. So, these types of reactions tend to be overblown. So, getting in at these areas, if you started to establish, a position in the stock near these levels, that's great. But for people that were waiting around for the stock to play a more long-term reversal and to capitalize on the dividend returns, I think that the outlook has changed here. So what I will be looking for currently is a bit of a price movement to the top side. I do think that there is a little bit more room to extend here, and then once we start to see movements to the top side, I will be looking for places to start to exit the trade. Currently, what we're looking at as resistance levels to the top side come in at roughly 2198. This would be the price high from this post gap trading period here. So it's difficult to look at this chart because the price movements have just been so erratic that we've seen several series of long-term sideways consolidation trends followed by now this. So, it's a very strange chart to be looking at. As we can see here, the moving average cluster is focused in the downside direction. We're sort of moving into this 2198 level. With the 20-day exponential moving average, will be there relatively soon. We're not quite there yet. So, if we do see a bit of a slow drift higher here, I do think that this 22 area is probably going to be working as some resistance zones here going forward. This might be the area where I exit the trade. I haven't completely settled on that just yet, but I just think that there are much better places to be putting your money. There are other stocks that will pay you a dividend if you're playing a long-term reversal. Or there are other small cap stock names that are completely rocketing higher at the moment. And there are several other names that I'm going to be introducing to the trading room so that we can sort of recover some of the some of the other losses that were generated by Intel itself. So, as things currently stand, we can see the indicator reading on the relative strength index for the daily time period. The stock is rolling over out of heavily oversold territory. That is a positive development. And this is largely why I think that the stock can continue to move higher. I think that the initial reaction here was overblown. It was a bit much. Things weren't as bad as they look on this price chart. So I do think that we can continue to move higher. But I will be using any move higher as an opportunity to exit the trade. The relative strength index itself is moving back out of oversold territory, and we have crossed above the exponential moving average for the relative strength index. So these are bullish developments. We are starting to see a bit of a reversal here. So more than likely we have seen the bottom in this stock. So anybody that is looking for a stock to buy at these lower levels, I don't see anything wrong with buying in, in the low 20s. But personally, I just see many other stock names that have the potential to outperform this stock. And if I do not have the incentive of the dividend, they've lost me. I'm no longer interested in holding on to Intel for the long term and betting on a longer term reversal. So here's the current market outlook and update for Intel Corporation, stock ticker INTC. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.